What is going on, guys? How are y'all doing? Um, as you can see from the title, y'all know why y'all here. You know what I'm here to talk about. I just finished watching one of the best animes I've actually seen in a while. Apothecary Diaries. Duh, right? Anyway, yeah. It was a really good show. I enjoyed it. I actually watched it with my girlfriend. We really enjoyed it. It was different, real different from any of the shows I've seen recently. I put it off for a really long time because technically it's a shojo anime, and I don't know. I'm a dude. I've seen a couple shojos, maybe like three or four, right? Not nothing too crazy. I've seen a couple. Um, Shojos really aren't my thing, to be honest, and I mean they're really not supposed to be. But when you get a show on fucking Mal that ends up having a fucking 8.8 score, and then the next season you having, I think it was like a 8.92, bro. Some crazy shit. Let me see. Yeah, 8.92. See, that's crazy. Those are some pretty big numbers for it to be just be a random shojo. So I mean, I watched it with my girlfriend as kind of like cope, but because like it's a shojo, and I mean, she was really like she really wouldn't meaning to watch it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it since it's so good, since it's rated so good. And I gave it a shot. Great show. I can't believe I put it off for as long as I did. Great show. I mean, literally, like, from the characters, the plot, the world building, the animation, everything was good. I think 8.8 is a little high for me, but I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I would give it like an 8.2, 8.3. It's a really, really, really good show. And I know I can tell why people love it. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate a couple of things, talk about what I really liked about it, what I think could have been a little better. But I think as of right now, I'm telling y'all, I liked it. Good show. Actually, my bad. Great show. I would watch it again in the future if I ever like for example, if they dropped a season three, like they probably won't drop one like fucking 3 4 years from now. But if they drop one 3 4 years from now, and I was like, damn, should I rewatch it? This is a show I'd go back and I wouldn't mind rewatching because man, great show, great show. Anyway, let's get into it. The plot. So at first hand, I'm not gonna spoil everything. There will be a couple spoilers in here, but at first hand, literally all it's about is this girl. She has an adopted dad. He's a apothecary or a doctor, a really good doctor. And what happens is, Mao Mao, who is the main character, the female you see right here, Mao Mao, everyone fucking knows her. She is actually basically an apothecary as well. And one day when she's out, I think getting medicine or something, she gets kidnapped by these thugs. She gets sold off to the emperor's palace to be a working servant girl. She works there for a couple months, solves a crazy mystery, and gets hired on as like a high-ranking servant of one of the emperor's concubines. Concubine being like women who are there to bear the emperor's kids, and that's basically how the story goes. It's kind of like a mystery, not a mystery. It's kind of it's very dramatic and it's very like problem solving. It's like a problem solving show. Like basically like a detective show. It's not super hard crime. There is some crime in there, but it's like a problem solving show. And that's kind of how the plot works. It's not a super like out there story. Like it's no crazy things you would never imagine happening, but it's the plot is set in a world where the events that happen are realistic. And I love the story because the way the plot is set up, everything like whenever they present issues to you uh that Mama has to solve, like they're genuinely like issues that you don't know what the fuck is happening or you couldn't explain it. And the way they break down the different like mysteries and different aspects of why this is or what's going on is great. I can't honestly. I think that I don't know who the author is. I haven't done a lot of research into them, but this is a very good show. They're very talented with how good they're like setting up all the problem solving and setting up all the like the mysteries and oh my god, like what's going on? How is this gonna work? How is this gonna fix itself? All of that stuff the author set up very very well. I actually really enjoyed that, and the thing about making shows like that is a lot of the times, like when it's not a complex story, but they present complex problems that are hard to solve, a lot of the audience will get put off by it. I was at first, right? But the way the author is able to write the story and the anime explains everything and why everything is and why what just happened, everything clicks in your brain. It's not like I don't fucking get it. Like you're not saying that I don't get it. The only thing you might be confused about is the big family tree. That's the family tree of the emperor and Jinshi. This guy right here. He's like, I don't know how to explain his relationship with Mamo. He's kind of like her boss in a way, but a lot more than her boss. See, they're cool. Like they're not like boss worker relationship. They're like boss and kind of homegirl, a little more than a homegirl. You know how it be. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. So the plot is just I love the problems, the way that they solve all the problems. Everything works really well. And like I said, it's not a super like out there story. Like it's not creative as fuck. Like it's not like an Attack on Titan or a Hunter x Hunter where the world is just its own anime. Like this anime takes place in China, which actually leads me on to my next topic that I was going to talk about, which is world building. I love world building in shows. I think it's an underratedly important thing when it comes to animes because the world is important. It's important how you set up the world because if you don't set it up right, then people are going to be watching and just it doesn't make sense. It's the immersion aspect. When you're watching this show, everything makes sense. You're like, oh, this is why in this year in China, in Imperial China, it makes sense why this is what's going on because that was the culture back then. And all of the mysteries that Mao Mao solves, some of them being related to a lot of Chinese culture, make sense. That's very little things like that in the world building goes a very long way because it makes the anime make more sense. And you don't want to sit there and watch a show that doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm not gonna lie, this show is very easy to fuck up. Watching it, I'm like, bro, if the author fucked up a little bit and didn't explain like these specific key points, like this show could have been easily fucked up. But he did such a good he was on his P's and Q's when he wrote this shit. Like everything made sense. Everything made sense. It was a normal show, right? He took a normal show in a cool setting and made it into a story you wouldn't believe. But yeah, I love the world building. There's another thing about China, like in this time, it's like the emperor is everything. You cannot speak out against the emperor. If you're working in a palace, if you're outranked, you can't speak out against people that are outranked. You're gonna get punished. All of that is true, and that's very important because if that's the setting you're trying to go for, you have to account for everything that was going on in China, right? Alongside the world building about how it takes place in China, all the architecture and the buildings that Mao Mao's in, that Jinshi's in, everything makes sense. Beautiful settings. Some of the animation in these shots is amazing. I loved the whole Chinese, the fact that this was all Chinese because I haven't seen a lot of shows that are like that. It's an actual anime, Japanese anime, that takes place in Imperial China. It's not a Chinese anime that takes place in China. This is a Japanese anime that takes place in China, which is really cool. I love the world building. Honestly, the world building was at least an 8 out of 10. I think you could argue a 9 out of 10. It was very good. Very good. Next thing that's really important is the characters. Can't have a good show without good characters, as always. I will start off strong, real strong. Mao Mao is one of my favorite female characters in anime of all time. Some of those being Revi from Black Lagoon, Violet from Violet Evergarden. I really like Mikasa. I really liked Kagome from Inuyasha. She was really cool. The girl from Snafu, My Teen Romantic Comedy. That was a good, she was cool. I really liked her. Oh, Maki Sekirisu from Steins Gate, one of my favorite characters. I really fucked with her. But yeah, there was something named Mama was up there, man. Mama might be top 3 female characters. She's so unique. I love her personality. She's so playful, and she has her little niches. Like she loves doing what she loves, and she's funny. She's not like a very like super serious all the time. or very just not takes anything serious all the time. She's a very complex character. She has real emotions. She has reasons why she has specific emotions or why she's not open to feeling a certain way. Um, and it's not like she can't get mad. There are scenes where there's a lot of her being playful, and then when shit hits the fan and she needs to lock in, she locks in. She's not one of those like shy, like, oh my god, should I do something? No, she knows to do something. She's willing to sacrifice a lot. Her position. She's willing to sacrifice getting punished. She speaks out of turn when she needs to, if it's for the greater good of the concubines or Jinshi or her subordinate. Like she's there. She's a great character. I love how the author set her up. I think Jinshi would be considered like a deuteragonist. He's really good in that role too. I think a big part of the characters is the relationship that Mao Mao and Jinshi have. It's very playful. It can get real serious real quick. I love the playfulness that they have between each other. And then yes, spoiler, there is some romance. There's some romance here and there where people are like, I'm kind of, it pisses me off. I'm a romance junk food eater, right? If y'all don't know what that is, bro, if there's romance, I'm fucking eating that shit up, bro. It's a fucking problem. And there's something going on between these two. There's gonna be more seasons. There's something going on between these two, and I don't like how they're edging me. Every time something's about to happen, edge. I'm like, I hate that part. I'm not gonna lie. I hate that aspect. But this show is not for that, and I think that's the author saying that that's not for that. The author's like, I feel like he's going, it might happen, it could happen, but we're not here for that. It's very slow burn. If y'all like slow burn, it's a very slow burn show with it when it comes to the romance. But like I was saying, the characters, right? Jinshi and Mao Mao's their relationship is really good. Jinshi's very like, it's hard to explain. I feel like he's not as complex as Mao Mao, but he's very hard to read. Like you don't know if he's really happy, if he's upset about something. Mao Mao is able to depict it, and that's really how you find out how he's moving in the show. Like Mao Mao will break it down for you, like he seems more upset than normal, and you'll see it and you'll know why. But I feel like most of the time when I was watching, Jinshi's he's hard to read, and I feel like that's a big part of why Mao Mao and him have such a good relationship, because I mean Mao Mao is kind of hard to read, and she's just taking a liking to her. Those are like the two big characters. Some of the other important characters, the concubines, the 4 major concubines. Well, 5 later on, but the 4 major concubines. I really like how they know their roles, they know what they're there for, and it would have been very easy to make them all very similar, and that would have been a mistake for sure. But I love how each concubine is slightly different or different in their own way. And a big thing about that is when you see characters such as the concubines, like more minor characters like that, they normally don't get any character development, or they're not shown enough to have character development. Some of them got some really good character development. Some of them were shown with problems and things going wrong in their lives, and they fixed it, and they became very, very respectable concubines, respectable people, to be honest. Most of them now are very respected in the story, but before, meh. But yeah, I really enjoyed the concubines when I was watching. Some of the other characters, like the Emperor, I really liked the Emperor. He was unique. It's very easy in a show like this, talking about Imperial China and emperors and how you have to listen to everybody. The Emperor could have been a dickhead. I bet that's what most people are expecting. He wasn't really a dickhead. He knows his authority for sure. Like, don't get me wrong, he knows what he can do, but he's not a dickhead about it. And I really like that. I don't know. I just really like how this anime, it's very good at showing what the reality was back then, but very good at not being basic as fuck about it, if that makes sense. It's a very, very good watch. But those are the main characters that were really important. You have like other characters like your dad, what's it called? Technically your uncle as well. People like that. Every character is good. I don't really have any beef. The only characters only character I really didn't like was like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I disliked any character. All of them were solid. Yeah, I have no qualms with the characters. Characters, I give it like an 8 out of 10, 8.4, 8.2 out of 10, something like that. They're good characters. But yeah. Next thing. Ooh, okay. This is very important in anime. Always. Let's talk about the animation and the soundtrack. Toho did it, and I don't know what OLM is. The Komi Can't Communicate, Old Berserk. They're fire. The main one I wanted to talk about was Toho. Toho's very good. They actually only have done this, to be honest. These don't really matter, to be fair. These are the main like two animation animes they've done that they were partnered with that came out really good. So I mean, great start. But yeah, all of them did it. This is their best show. I feel like the animation was perfect. I feel like you could arguably give this show a 9 out of 10 for the animation because like I said like too much because Mao Mao and Jinchi's relationship is very complex. It is complex, but the great way that it's highlighted that it's complex is through the animation. Some of the animations with some of the ways they talk to each other, like when they're laughing, you can see the gimmicky type animation that they set up for each other. When they're serious, you can tell from the way they animate their eyes, the way they're animating their posture, like shit's getting serious. Those little things in animation, because this show isn't a crazy fighting anime. It's not supposed to have insane animation, but it does help with the immersion and showing the characters off even better when they do have really good animation like this. And because of that, I was way more interested into the show than I would have been if it was just like the most bare bone animation. For example, not dissing Cloverworks. If Cloverworks animated this, it probably would have been a good show as well. But Cloverworks is more of a rom-com type of studio, and they have their limits. The way this show was animated, I loved the conversations and the interactions each character had with each other because the animation highlighted it so well. It's really hard to explain into words what type of scenes I mean, but if you give this show a try and look at those scenes and look at why this show, like why I like the animation so much with a lot of the ways the characters interact, you'll understand why the animation is important. And there were a couple fight scenes, there were a couple of scenes where the animation was important, but most of the time the animation wasn't important. But the animation being as good as it was added a very big plus. I will say when the animation was important was the 2 big dancing scenes. That's not a crazy spoiler. There's 2 really big dancing scenes. Amazing animation. I fucking loved it. Especially the first one. Me and my girlfriend watching, we were just jaw dropped. We were like, damn, this is damn near peak right here. This is great. These are the shows that I love to watch. Comboed with the animation always is a good soundtrack. Both of those are important for being immersed in the anime, being like really showing off. Like these are highlights that make the plot, that make the world building, that make the characters shine even further. Like this is the backbone of the show, animation soundtrack. Soundtrack was done by my GOAT, Kevin Penkin. I love Kevin Penkin. He did a couple of the other shows I like highlighted, mainly Made in Abyss. I loved his work in Made in Abyss. Kevin fucking Penkin, man. He orchestrated the soundtrack, loved it. All of the openings were solid. All of the endings were solid. If I'm not mistaken, the third opening, which is the first opening of the second season, was done by Lilas, who is the second half of Yaosobai. Everybody knows Yaosobai. They did the Oshinoko opening. She actually sang the opening for the first opening of the second season, which I was very surprised. I listened to it, I was like, holy shit, I recognize it. This is fucking Yaosobai or Lilas, one of the two. And it was Lilas, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And the first opening was very good as well. My girlfriend actually really loved the first opening. That's really what hooked her onto it. I thought the first opening was good too. Honestly, the first opening was probably my favorite. But yeah, the soundtrack was nice. The OSTs, I will say, they were very concurrent. Like when I was listening, because and this is kind of me nitpicking because I knew Kevin Pinkin did the orchestrated the soundtrack. So when I was listening to it, a lot of the OSTs I heard very often. I feel like the OSTs there weren't that many different pieces, but a couple of them, whenever there were very big scenes, very like emotional or dramatic scenes, there was special OSTs that played, and I loved those. Those are honestly, I feel like that's what Kevin Pinkin lives for. Those are the OSTs that really matter in the show and really give it that oomph whenever there's a dramatic scene, and then that really good OST plays. I feel like that just gives the show such a big boost. But I will say, Kevin Pinkin, I feel this show was not his best work. Not saying it was bad by any means. I feel like because this show is, the world building really played a big role in the way the OSTs were made. There was a lot of like Chinese type of sounds and songs that were being listened to. I think because the world building was kind of strict, like it has to be Chinese OSTs. Okay, it's not like a crazy world like for example, Kevin Bacon also done some League of Legends stuff very recently. It's not a crazy world like Made in Abyss. It's not a crazy world like League of Legends. This is a normal human world that takes place in China. So because of that, I feel like Kevin Bacon was very limited. I could tell from some of the OSTs it felt like he was limited. And because of that, I will say I don't think it's its best work. Not bad by any means, like I said, but it could have been a little better. I feel like Kevin Bacon, his music is very, very more open when he's less limited. Like, for example, this was China. It was a human world. The OSTs have to reflect that. Whereas his creativity in a show like Made in Abyss, where the world is completely unbeknownst to us, everything that we're seeing for the first time. League of Legends the same. League of Legends is its own world. Everything's unique as fuck. Shows like that, or shows and games like that, when Kevin Bacon is allowed to really let his mind go and just do whatever he wants that fits the vibe, I feel like that's where he shines. Like I said, not a bad soundtrack, but I feel like that's where he gets he does a very, very good job with soundtracks. But those were the main points. Always a big point is how the show ends. This show isn't ended. I'm pretty sure this is gonna. They already announced a sequel, to season 2. So there's gonna be a season 3. I think I don't know how many volumes exactly are animated. There should be a couple more volumes. There's definitely gonna be more volumes. I mean, especially with the way the romance is set up in this show, there has to be more volumes. But yeah, my only qual with this show, two problems. One, like I said before, the plot was very good. The author does a good job explaining things. This might be a personal thing. I'm a little fucking pea-brained, right? I'm a dumb weeb. So, not a smart weeb, a dumb weeb. So the thing is, when I was watching, the only thing that was confusing me was the family tree. And especially with the ending of the second season, the whole plot that was going on with that specific concubine, my brain was losing its mind. I had to look up a lot of the stuff to really get why what was going on. That there was a little it was a little convoluted. It probably would have been way easier if I watched it dubbed. I watched it subbed. Ooh, that's another thing. Forgot to mention. Mamo's voice actor won and Japanese voice actor of the year. Deserved. She killed it. Great voice actor. I know why she won. But just a quick side note. Yeah, like I was saying, the only problem I had was the family trees. The first family tree with the whole emperor, that's still complicated, but not as bad. I understood it. The second one at the end of the second season, it was everywhere. Like, probably because if I watched it in English, I probably would have understood it more. But I knew that the Japanese voice actor was one anime Japanese voice actor of the year at the Crunchyroll Awards. So I was like, okay, I have to watch this subbed. And they did a good ass job. I don't regret watching it subbed. That was just a little confusion. And the only other beef I have, as always with every fucking show, because this is the only fucking thing I'm addicted to. It's the only thing I'm looking for was the romance. Go figure, right? Yes, I was pissed about the fucking romance. I'm sorry. I watched 50 episodes of a slow burn. This show is not about the romance. The author's here edging me. I don't like being edged. I want to nut. That's the problem. I want to sit here and I want to bust a nut. That is what needs to happen with the romance. I'm being edged. I've been edged for damn near 50 fucking episodes. It low-key pissed me off. Y'all know the very end of the last episode, if you see the season 2, it made me fucking pissed. I was sick to my goddamn stomach because I waited all this time. I knew there was a sequel coming out, but I was hoping this is where we were gonna get somewhere. That didn't end up happening. It pissed me off. That's the one beef I have to have with this show. I fucking hate when shows do that. But this is a personal thing. Like I said, this is not subjective. We're getting away from the subjective right now. This shit pissed me off. This shit that I'm talking about right now pissed me off. Not bad for the show, just made me angry. Because why the fuck am I watching 50 episodes of a fake romance? Either have it or don't have it. If you're gonna have it, don't edge me. I don't like being edged. That's what pisses me off. Fuck that shit. That made me mad. The rest of the show, solid. Great. I have no qualms besides what I just said. Yeah, that's basically everything I had to say. I really want to know what y'all thought about it. Because I enjoyed it a lot. But you know, there's like I said, there's a couple things I would have enjoyed a little more. Please let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it. I love to see what your opinions were. Maybe of your opinions of what I thought was wrong if you made it this far in the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know, I'm trying to make it out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to make it out. I'm just doing what I love. But if you guys enjoyed, let me know. Also, let me know if there's any content you guys want me to make on any anime. Next thing I make, I never fucking know, but I definitely want to make a video about this because this show is phenomenal. I loved watching it. I would watch it again. The romance needs work because I need work because I'm addicted to romance. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Jinshi, when I fucking no, I ain't gonna lie, Mama, when I fucking catch you, because you're the problem. She's the fucking problem with the romance. It's never Jinshi. It's always her. Because I'm not even gonna say she doesn't know what she wants, because I'm sure she would know what she wants, but do you really know what you want?